Okay, so I have a quick listener write-ins, and then we're going to no sleep, but we're still on the reel here. You did mention in all of our tangents here just now, you did mention technology and technology picking up things. So this is from a listener. So I'm gonna 1000% believe all these listener write-ins are totally real.
Yeah.
So it starts off. This happened twice with my family, but I can only remember the second incident as I was just 12/13. This happened around 2009. Just a backstory. Whenever a loved one close to us passes away, we were told to stay inside the house or stay with family because that loved one may try to contact us and convince us to go with them to the afterlife. I think the term might be spirited away. On to the story. My mom was in Memphis, Tennessee, helping my aunt take care of my sick grandma, her mom. My grandma's health was declining fast, so my mom wanted to see her one last time before she passed. My dad, siblings, and I opted to stay in California as we had school, and my dad couldn't take time off from work. I was helping my dad cook dinner for the family when we got a phone call from a 901 number. I think it's important to mention that we had a landline phone at the time. My dad recognized the number as it belonged to my grandma, and he thought my mom or aunt was using her phone to call us. Something felt off to me, so I begged him not to answer. As the phone was ringing, I remember crying. Not hysterically crying, but just an overwhelming feeling of sadness. She left us a 2-minute voicemail, and my dad decided to play it to see why she was calling us. I don't remember what exactly was in that voicemail, but I remembered my grandma saying she missed everyone and loved us very much. One phrase that did stick out to me was, quote, "I know it'll be a while, but I'll be waiting for you guys to visit me." My dad immediately called my mom's cell phone to ask her if grandma was okay, and my mom told him that she had passed away an hour ago. She was going to tell us the next morning as she was still grieving since she was with my grandma at her final moments. My dad's face looked like he had seen a ghost when my mom told him the news, and he explained to her what had happened just minutes ago. Once my dad ended the phone call, he told me we were all going to stay home the next couple of days to grieve. Fast forward to 2 weeks later, my mom came home and finally listened to the voicemail since my dad never deleted it. She started to cry and said that this was actually my grandma, and she believed that this was her telling us her last words before officially crossing over to the afterlife. My mom explained to us that if one of us answered that call, it meant that we were inviting her in and believed that my grandma could have convinced us to go with her. I asked my dad about this because I wanted to get his side of the story and to see if he remembered more than I did, and he told me that this was not the first time this had happened. He said 6 years prior to my grandma's passing, we received a phone call, same landline, from his uncle the day after he passed away. Not sure if this was a way of our dead loved ones calling us before they cross over, or if my landline was just flat out haunted. We got rid of our landline once I went off to college, so of course that voicemail is gone. As scary as it sounds, I found this heartwarming because I really loved my grandma, and she's been such a special person in my life. And I believe this was her way of saying goodbye to us, since we didn't get to see her before she passed. It's been 12 years since she left this world, and I miss her every day. I thought I would share it because it's been a memory that never went away, and I never told anyone about this story until now.
Wow. That's so special.
Crazy.
That's really sweet that they shared it.
I truly believe that there's such weird, unexplainable things. And
Totally.
I think that's one thing, even you, when you talk about the dreams and how these dreams, when you feel you've been visited, they leave you feeling more drained. And I truly believe that has something to do with the energy of you're using energy to connect with their actual spiritual energy.
Yeah.
So maybe they're even using your energy as a battery to power that.
Literally, yeah.
And so when I hear this and stories about the departed using technology or radios and things like that, it's okay, I could totally see that happening because there's all the laws of science, no energy is created nor destroyed.
Yeah.
So where does that energy go?
Where does it go? That is, see, to me, the story is, it's twofold. It's beautiful, but it's a little eerie. Obviously, the facts are eerie because it was after they had passed. And then also, I don't know why the notion of like, why would the grandma want to invite them to the other side? Why, like, typically we're left under the impression that they want you to, your loved ones leave you
Yeah.
and they leave you in a better place and they want you to thrive and go on without them and live a happy, fulfilled life. I don't love the notion of like, oh, they're trying to invite you with them. It sounds like they're trying to like steal you away from living your best life.
I wonder if that's a cultural thing.
I don't know. I'm wondering the
in
same
certain
thing.
cultures if they believe that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to call the grandma like the boogeyman, but you know how there's like every culture has its own like
yes, but I don't
views.
and I respect that, and
Absolutely.
I'm super interested to learn more about it. But for some reason, just my visceral is like I didn't like that because it makes it seem like eerie when it might not be.
and it could be just like this beautiful thing.
This beautiful thing,
Yeah.
but like to me, it just seems like eerie, like you're trying to take the person with you. But it could be beautiful, and I'm missing context. But more than anything, I mean, this story speaks to me so much. Like I have one grandparent remaining. I love my grandparents, and like if there's one thing, I really wish I had a voicemail for my grandpa. Like,
oh my gosh,
my friend Richa, she says that like she will record conversations on her iPhone. Like she'll be like, "Grandma, tell me about this time," or
that's beautiful.
"Tell me about this," and then she'll record it and just put her phone on the table. And I'm like, she's like, "I have all these recordings," and I'm like, oh, I wish I did that. It like pains me that I didn't use technology the way I could have, and I could have like his voice. Like I would kill to hear a voicemail of like my grandparents like talking for 2 minutes. Like that would mean everything to me. Like, so that when I hear that, I'm like, that's so special, but obviously they don't have it anymore.
I know.
But it left such a lasting impact.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that like 12 years later, it's still like such a clear memory and like means so
and she
much.
says I miss her every single day. Like,
yeah,
I can't imagine. Like the voicemail would almost, in a way, maybe be even painful because if you're already missing the person. And like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he just on Sunday was the 2 months since his father has passed, and in the culture that he's in, apparently, like at the 2 month mark, they do like it's I don't know the official word for it, but it's the grieving has ended, like the grieving period has ended, and they have like a ceremony and like a traditional thing where they're like, okay, the grief has ended and now we move past it. And it was beautiful, like the way he described it. It was really great. But oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought with this one. That never happens to me. I felt like someone just wiped my memory.
dude, what was
That was
I
weird.
saying right
That's kind of
before,
like
though?
weird. What happened there?
I feel like a ghost just went.
I feel like someone just like
in our brain.
like
I don't even remember what I was saying.
washed my memory.
We gotta roll the tapes.
What happened? What were we saying?
I don't even know.
Where was I going with that? Why did I start talking about that?
Just like death in general and how like interesting it can be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love when
Okay.
cultures have
Yeah.
ceremonies like
Yeah.
that.
Like I know
'Cause-
the Jewish, right? Like they
Yeah.
have what's it called? With like the 7 days or
So after a person passes, you have, oh my God, what is my brain broken for?
our brains are broken.
Seder. So you have like a Seder. And so for 7 days, like the family comes together, you eat, you like celebrate that person's life.
Yeah.
And then after that, you also have like Kaddish. So for a year after that person's death, you say a prayer for them every day. And that takes place for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then after that, like at the 1 year anniversary of their death, you go back to their gravesite to do a headstone unveiling.
Oh yeah.
Or like a commemoration.
My boss just did that.
Yeah. So I like that, like, there's cultures that like make grief like
Yeah.
a process, and it's like very inclusive to like
Yeah.
it just like it helps you
Dia.
get through it.
Like Dia de los Muertos.
Oh my God, so beautiful.
And has anyone seen Coco? Have you seen Coco?
of course,
Movie. Like
fucking watched it on an airplane and
bald.
ugly,
Bald.
ugliest cry of my life.
The Disney movies get you.
Oh.
Like Coco is such a beautiful movie, but that's honestly what we're talking about. Like this, like it's like a celebration for the dead among the living.
Yeah.
And what I was saying, I just remembered what I was going.
I
with that
wish I
story.
could, like, I want to celebrate that so bad. I think that's just the
Dia?
most beautiful. I
I
think it's the
know.
most beautiful
Morgan
tradition.
and I participated in a celebration like 5 years ago.
It was so cool.
And we went to downtown LA and like we got our faces painted and we broke bread and we did all the things.
I love the pan.
Yeah, the pan de muerto. And
Pan
we
de
tried to get
muerto.
our face painted today for in commemoration.
We
of
tried.
it. We tried.
She canceled on us.
She bailed.
Yeah, don't trust the Craigslist face painter.
I know. Next time. But I was so excited. I loved that face painting. I was
was
trying
really
to find
cool.
a picture. But what I was saying,
Oh,
the
you
reason,
remembered it?
yes, like the reason I told that story is because I was talking to him on the phone and I was like, I'm very sorry. You know, it sounds like whatever. And he made this comment of like, grief is the absence of love. It's love that has nowhere to go. And so to come back to what you were saying, where it's like energy has to go somewhere. That's kind of like in the same spirit of grief. Like it's love that has nowhere to go. So when you're grieving the dead, it's like it has to go somewhere and that energy's transferred.
Wow. I think that's like going to be very thought provoking for a lot of people.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Grief is love that has nowhere to go.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of beautiful?
Damn.
I know.
Is that on a keychain?
I don't know.
I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be. Yeah, someone's got to be making it on Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense.
Mm-hmm.
I do have. Moving on now to, I do have like more listener write-ins, but there's so many that I think I'm literally just going to make the next theme just listener write-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And so get these ones off our plate.
Okay.
So.
Also, I'm so sorry, but like, why can't my rib cage be this small in real life? Look at this. Also, look at my pelvis.
It's meant for a baby.
Look at my pelvis.
The bones are the size of babies.
Wait, do you think my pelvis is this size though?
No chance.
You don't think?
No chance. Are you kidding me? Feel your hip bones right now.
Yeah, but they could be this big and they're just wide apart.
No, sweetie. No.
I looked in the mirror and I was like, the physique.
Damn, I'm hot.
Damn.
My skeleton's hot.
Okay, sorry.
For those of you that are listening and not watching on YouTube,
Oh, yeah.
Alejandra and I are wearing skeleton onesies to celebrate the spooky season.
So spook. So spook.
So spooky.
So spook. Wait, yeah, I just realized that people didn't have any context.
No, they're going to be like,
And I'm like,
what
why is it my rib cage
happening?
this small? Look at this little rib cage.
It's the size of a child.
I know. I know. It's too small. It's too small. Okay.